let me take your time. I want to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio, 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing TV and TV, well, it's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Good morning to you also. Those of you via social media platforms, good morning. Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning and welcome. It's To The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. Due to the circumstances, I think we're going to go over a little over 10 o'clock this morning, but nevertheless, let's see how that flows. And let me say good morning to my guest this morning. And I think it's the first time I'm having her on my program.
In studio.
Senator Gloria Williams. Let me say good morning to you. Gloria Farmers, let me get that right. And first time on my program, let me say good morning to you and welcome. Happy New Year, Happy Independence, everything in between, and hope all is well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thank you for having me on your program this morning.
All right, you're welcome. And Brother Ron, I can say Brother Ron.
Yeah. By now, yeah. Yes, morning. Good morning to all the viewers, listeners, both home and in the diaspora, all Grenadians, wherever you are.
All right. Welcome to both of you once again, and it is always a pleasure having folks on the program. Well, last week I had, of course, were on with us last week, and of course we were talking about the convention and everything like that. And let's talk a wee bit about the convention for stats.
Right.
How was the convention for stats, from your point of view?
Yeah, well, if I can lead first, and then I would hand over to my chair. Essentially, convention was mission accomplished. Yeah. Every goal that we set out to achieve, we did achieve. It went well. There were some hiccups internally, like with the voting process to get it off the ground. But essentially, once it got off the ground, all delegates fell in line and they got all of the positions in terms of the elections voted for. So it went well. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience at the rally, post the convention, the internal session. And essentially, everything went smooth. The winner of the best dress was announced as well. So we did achieve a great many things and all that we set out to achieve. But it was a wonderful convention. The messages from the two leaders, visiting leaders from the Caribbean, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and Prime Minister Philip J. Pear, was wonderful and well received by all, including the new elected executive members.
All right, let me take the time to say congratulations on obtaining the position of PRO.
Thank you.
And best wishes on that. Senator Gloria Farmers, once again, welcome. Your take on the convention. You are now the chairman of the National Democratic Congress. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the convention was beyond expectation. We had a very high delegate turnout, which was really commendable. And the process of the voting, as Brother Ron indicated, had a little hiccup. So we were trying to vote through electronic means, but not everybody up to the technology.
Yes.
So that had a little setback. But by and large, it was a real successful convention. We had a little amendment to the Constitution, which was passed, and we went that way because we want to become more effective as a party, and we want to be more meaningfully relevant for the years going ahead.
You mentioned about the amendment of the Constitution. Explain that a wee bit for me in terms of the amendment and the way forward for that.
Right. Well, we had a number of firsts at this convention. So, for example, Senator Thomas, who now sits as our chairman, is the first female chairperson of the National Democratic Congress in its 38-year history. Secondly, for the first time, we included a new position, which was that of a Deputy General Secretary. So that's one of the changes that was made to the Constitution. The second was about increasing the tenure or the term of executive officers from 1 year to 2 years. We believe for improving succession, consistency, and stability that we need to extend the time, and it was unanimously supported by the delegates who turned out in their great numbers to support it.
All right. Let's go back to Senator Gloria Farmers once again. You know the chairman of the National Democratic Congress.
Yes.
What is your task ahead? What is that task ahead for you?
First, we have to have a transition meeting because we have to plan, we have to re-strategize, and we have to look at, in going forward, how we could be more effective. We are very good at where we are, but we want to be better. because the political landscape keep changing, and we have to be up to speed to remain ahead and to become a viable force to be reckoned with. So, as chair, I am prepared to ensure that we restructure, we look at some of our strategies and some of our programs of the way we do things, and to ensure that we remain ahead.
And are you thus far happy with the new executive that you have before?
Yes, I have a wonderful team of persons to work with. Wonderful persons on my team to work with.
All right,
yes,
great,
yes.
Great. Let me also ask you this, Senator Gloria. I mean, as a new chair of the National Democratic Congress, do you think that the position will take away any of your duties, such as, the ministry representing the people of St. Andrews Northwest constituency on behalf of the NDC? Tell me. And I would throw that same question out to Brother Ron also.
For people who know me, they know that I'm an effective time manager. I'm never late. I never miss an appointment. I'm always at all meetings. I'm always at my ministry. Don't have to. And I'm very visible in the constituency that I last represented. And so it just takes a little more reorganizing to make it happen. And I know I am capable of doing that.
All right. Well, it's good when someone have that level of efficiency among themselves. Yes. I like the never late part. I stand a whole lot for that. But of course, Rod, tell me about that now that you're the PRO. I mean, I know you have a lot of time on your hands, but it's something you should be able to work with. Tell me what do you feel about that now in terms of being able to know that you're the PRO. I guess it's a little more work on hand for you.
Right.
And so forth.
Well, similar to Chair. So I think with my benefit is having the team. To be able to assist and support, and that team is there. It's evolving because we always have to build. Some may be able to transition into a new role, and others may be able to step in to fill the void. And so we do have the support. Orlando Romain, outgoing PRO, is now deputy, so there is no value in terms of the contribution that is lost there. So work still continues essentially, and we are building and enhancing on what we met and where we expect to take the political organization. But just to emphasize, there is sufficient unity right now in the National Democratic Congress to be able to carry us through these roles, notwithstanding that difficulties may arise, but we are confident that we can deal with it, not as individuals, but as a team.
All right. Another question that comes to mind, I had to jot this down this morning to remember it. We saw last week several posts, of course, or from get registered, so forth, ready for. Is it to get ready for general election? I should be looking forward to a voter's card and keeping it close and all of these things.
Well, we should always be ready, but certainly it's just essentially to say to our membership that they do what they have to do, the delegates preparation and so on leading up to our convention, and we stand firm to that. But how we see it, we must always be ready and
be preparing. Yes.
So that was basically it in a nutshell.
Yeah. No. Well, you could take it or you need to.
Of course, we'll be seeing changes in the candidates line. Will we be seeing changes in the candidate lineup for you, of course, especially from the lineup from 2022 general election, outside of the obvious changes for Northwest and so on? Would caretaker for Northwest? No.
Well, it might be a little too early to get into that. I think we'd want to wait. But all in all, we remain committed to accelerating the transformation of the NDC.
And we have a group, a very active constituency group there, doing the work and continuing to keep the flag of the NDC flying. So the work continues. So when the time comes, it mightn't be so difficult to find a candidate.
All right. So tell me, budget day is this Friday?
Yes.
Any hints on some goodies? I think or any baddies you want to say that the 2025 budget can tell us? Anything that
we want the general public to come out and listen. Those who cannot come out, we want them to listen at home and in the diaspora, and we want them to be, getting it firsthand for the first time, budget day. So we want to drop any hints here. I don't think it will be, much of value to do that. Yes.
You don't want to spoil the moment.
We just want to encourage people to come out.
Element of surprise.
No.
Yes, come out and support. Come out and listen and support the presentation of the budget.
All right. We're due for a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us, folks. It's Classic Radio GBN TV. It's to the point. With me this morning, we have Senator Gloria Farmers and Honorable Ron RedHead with us this morning. Stay with us, folks. We will be right back. Don't touch your dial.
No frill. Right Choice Promotions in association with Investment Migration Agency of Grenada, together with Ariza Credit Union, presents the inaugural Virgin Parish Relay Meet. This is the real Mini Olympics, Saturday, March 8th. La Sagesse Playing Field in St. David. Relay action featuring the top clubs and schools from across Grenada, competing for cash prizes and more. Come see the nation's best athletes as they prepare for Intercall and Carifta Games 2025. First call to action is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, featuring live entertainment and excitement in the tug-of-war competition. Admission $10 adults, $5 children. Come to Virgin Parish, St. David on Saturday, March 8th for the Virgin Parish Relay Meet. Come share in the excitement and speed and see you there.
In observance.
Welcome back once again to our listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Let me welcome back my guests. Of course, we had Honorable Ron Redhead with us this morning and Senator Gloria Farmers with us this morning, representing, of course, the National Democratic Congress and also, of course, the government here on Island. Let's continue with our level of conversation this morning. Coming to mind, because, this has been a conversation I've been hearing from numerous Grenadians, have a sort of bit of a passion in relation to this. What's the latest on the U.S. decision to repatriate Grenadians who are illegal in the U.S., if you would say it like that? What is the latest, and how soon can we expect these people home? Should we be concerned in relation to that?
Well, we did receive correspondence from the U.S. informing that they are preparing to send back some of the Grenadians, and they also requested that we accept some from other islands, other countries. The latest on that, we requested from them a list of the Grenadians. We want to see the names, the address, the profile. Mm-hmm. And after we would have received that, then we will decide how we're going forward. But we have not received that.
So no other correspondence as yet?
No, nothing as yet. But we're waiting on them to furnish us with that list.
Okay. Yeah. Now, with the removal of the E2 visa from the U.S., of course, would it affect the CBI program? And then we have any heard that, President Trump offering a gold card removal for the E2 visa? Tell us anything in relation to that. Any concern in relation to that?
Well, I'm not so au fait with what the implications will be, but from the sound of it, I think it's something that will be positively impacting any country. Yeah.
When you say positively impacting, because would it negative or positively impact Grenada? Because removal of the E2 visa, and would it affect the CBI program? You understand? That's basically what I'm asking. That folks have an option of going to the US directly instead of coming to Grenada and other islands that offer the CBI program.
Well, it's still a complex policy. Government is still going through. I think the Ministry of Foreign Affairs speak to the matter recently and is ongoing in terms of its dialogue. So we really couldn't say at this moment what the impact would be. But certainly from a regional standpoint, concerns have already been raised in other countries.
All right. Let's talk a wee bit about your constituency, Senator Gloria. How are things within your constituency?
Oh, excellent. We continue to deliver. We continue to meet the people. We continue to have our meetings. We continue to raise funds. Every first Saturday we have a fundraising breakfast. And apart from that, we do other fundraising events. We have programs going on right now. We have the wash program in an area we call Lakabeke. We have 20-something toilets and bathrooms to be built. We're halfway there. We meet every month, executive as well as the general body, and I think Northwest St. Andrews is one of the most active constituency in the country.
All right. And any major plans you would say that we could see anything new implemented within the 2025, if I can ask that?
Well, more training for our women, more training for our women, because what we realize is many of our women are unskilled, and that put a burden on the social program. People wait for the debushing program, which is twice a year, and that is not enough to sustain the family and to keep them going. So what we plan to do, what we started to do, is to identify the women that will need to upskill themselves, and we have some that we have to introduce some skills for them, and we want to get them into the non-traditional areas, the areas that will bring in a better level of income. And that is what we're planning for the women in constituency in the coming year.
Your particular ministry that you lead, tell us about some of the activities that have been taking place thus far overall.
Well, social development, gender, housing, community development.
Yes.
We have a number of things that has happened in this ministry. Under social development, we roll off the card for seed, the cash card, because we felt that people was being abusing the sun. People had to line up for so long in the sun to collect. So we just had to upscale that service, and we roll out the card. Everybody has not yet received the card because we're doing it in phases. Okay. So that is a big one for social development.
Just not a card, but the cards, the individuals who may have received their cards, are they appreciative of using that particular? Sometimes we as Grenadians, we are accustomed to one way of doing things. Yeah. For many years, everybody come collect their cash and that's it. How has folks been accepting that, especially with the cash card, for folks within the seed program?
Well, we had training before. We had training with them, and we had demonstrations and so on. So there was a little bit of apprehension among some, but there was excitement among others. Mixed feelings. But generally, it is working out, and people are very much happy to have the card. Gives them a certain measure of privacy. And I think they are very much appreciative of that.
I mean, the world of technology today, you have to go along that particular direction, more or less. Let's continue again with some of the activities within the ministry again.
Oh, we have, we had some legislative reforms. We introduced some legislation, well, not introduced, but upgrade and revise some of the legislation to make it more effective. For example, we had the Maintenance Act, where now we do a revision of it, where we will introduce garnishing of salaries, because we have to always look after our families, our women. And what we recognize is that some of the men who are public servants, teachers, policemen, and other persons in the public service are not coming up to their responsibility. We are construction workers too, but what I make that as an example, or refer to these categories, because I think it is unfair for the government to be looking after these people, children, and they are working and they have an income, and they are neglecting their responsibility. So when that legislation is passed, we will be removing the allowance before they receive their salary. Okay. So that is to ensure that the children are looked after, they are maintained, and they are able to be cared for by the other parent.
Social development is something that is very important in all countries.
Yes.
And in a small island like Africa, it's important. What are some of the major challenges that you are foreseeing within that particular realm of your department, social development?
Well, one of the challenges is that people feel that once that program is available, they ought to benefit from it. And they will compare themselves with others, and they feel that they have to get, not knowing the inside story of that person's situation. Because when the social worker visit, or when people come to the ministry to make a request, they will give you the whole profile, all the circumstances, and all the situation will be, discussed. And somebody that might be looking as if they could afford may not be able to afford. and then people make a judgment and say, if X could get, I could get too. And, it's very difficult for you to let people know that it is not like that. And there is always this comparison. There is always this struggle to determine who to get and who not to get, and that really, really is a problem for us.
Okay. It's interesting to know that, because it's always a bit of the concern to know folks are being treated right, and especially within our country, not everyone is able to achieve all that they want, and sometimes that little assistance goes a whole long way. But let's talk about. We didn't get to speak much about your constituency last week. We focused a whole lot on the convention. Sure. Tell us what's going on within your constituency.
Well, similar. Certainly from a party standpoint, we are going to be having our branch elections on the 17th of March, where we will elect a new executive team at St. George Northeast. Definitely, we've completed our work program for the year, notwithstanding the distraction of Hurricane Beryl and budget and all these other elements. We stand as Member of Parliament. We have completed our draft work program and have been assisted greatly by Senator Thomas's ministry to push our agenda in community development. We have been fortunate enough to roll out a number of programs and pilot a number of programs, so you'll hear more about them at the budget. One such program which we saw tremendous success with and was paid for by the Ministry of Social Development was the program regarding training the young children with autism and identifying some of the weaknesses in their learning disabilities and how we can guide them to be able to enhance that. So a total of 33 students were trained and observed, so to speak, and given recommendations as to how they could mitigate. There is significant improvement in their reading now at the St. Paul's Government Primary School that we can report. So more about it, more details would be shared at the Parliament post-budget, which is the debates. But certainly we encourage everyone to look forward to what is going to happen after budget is read in St. George Northeast. We have a lot of plans. We know we have a number of requests, and similar to what Minister mentioned as relates to the question of ensuring that who is deserving of assistance gets assistance is really always a challenge, because sometimes you have to double check, triple check, and all kind of checks, because people have very creative ways to mask their needs versus wants. And so sometimes in that case they rig the system, essentially robbing what somebody who is in need should get and taking it because it's a want. So we always have to be fair, and when we talk about social development, we always have to ensure that all constituencies throughout the island would have some needs, and we are meeting it as a party and more so as a government.
You of course, all around, you've been having a wee bit of a hands-on approach lately, especially within the constituency. I'm seeing you on the ground always, all the time. The photographs and everything tells a lot that you are there and notice it. Tell us about some of the challenges that you have noticed within the constituency, that as you are there now in person to look at them and see for yourself, and not just being told by folks who are given the opportunity to see the different aspects that need to take place. You are there as being the representative for the constituency and able to see what's going on. Tell us about some of the challenges that you notice that could be remedied if there is possible.
Right. Well, the number one challenge in St. George Northeast is a lack of planning over the many years. And I could zero in on the question of flooding that takes place throughout the constituency. It was a lack of planning which led to it. So development occurred. The impact of that specific development was never measured, and therefore it allowed for the development to occur without any clear planning as to what would happen if we get extreme rainfall, if we get tropical systems, etc. And so from that standpoint, I have remained extremely hands-on. I have solicited the support of one of the party's members, which is Mr. Neville Bain, in addition to my management team. He has been advising, so to speak, on critical infrastructure projects within St. George Northeast, and he takes it both from a historical standpoint now to the present standpoint as to our needs. Things that had to be done since the Most Honorable George Brizan was Member of Parliament of St. George Northeast, and therefore we are operating within the context of the plan which we campaigned on, one, and two, a constituency work program, which is about seeing progression over a period of time. One of the other challenges is that we need to manage expectations. Sometimes I get the impression that there's the belief that we can do so much in such a short space of time, not taking into consideration that there are limits, there are red tape sometimes that we'll have to go through, which is not geared to all the time detour, but it's a fail-safe and to be able to protect the nation's resources. And so often it is not my money that is being spent, it's taxpayers' money. And so when we do it, we have to ensure that we do it right. So some things will have to take some time to be able to get right. And especially when we inherited bad projects in the constituency, there is need to always revisit, review, and redesign and reconstructure to be able to get the best quality and to ensure that is good, something good that is coming to the people of St. George Northeast. But by and large, those are the two major challenges: a lack of plan and to manage the expectations.
All right. I always have to ask you about this because I traverse the area regular. What's going on with the bus stop?
Right.
Because it has, what's the issue with it? Because I know that it's still at a standstill for various reasons.
Right.
So what's going on with it?
After budget will resume, I think we've commenced the cleanup of the area. If you notice, the shop by Brother Noel that used to be that was erected there is no longer there. We want to clean up because we'll have to pave the area and beautify the area. The wall was constructed through the Ministry of Infrastructure, and therefore the requirement as to roadside, bus stop, distance, that sort of thing, marking, etc., that will be done. We also have the Transport Commission. So there is a transition from it just being a purely infrastructural project to one that is under the Ministry of Transport. And so that was the transition that was occurring in addition to why we had the little challenge. I must say that area is not the only area throughout the constituency and by and large Grenada that has challenges in terms of being able to erect bus sheds. So it is now being taken as a national effort to improve the access for bus operators and pedestrians alike.
All right. We drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, much more with the conversation here on To The Point. Stay with us, folks. Don't touch it out.
No frills, just great prices, only at Court.
In observance of International Women's Day on March 8th, GBN will air a special program on March 6th. Women's Voices for Change from 10 a.m. across all GBN platforms. Join us as we share the stories of ceiling breakers, barrier busters, and inspiring women. Don't miss this special Women's Day program on GBN Thursday, March 6th from 10 a.m.
Grenada. It's time to feel the adrenaline and crown national champions. The Horizon National Championship 2025 is expected to be bigger, faster, and more thrilling than ever. Mark your calendars for March 15th and 16th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. The nation's best athletes will battle for glory in electrifying races, soaring jumps, and powerful throws. Admission, finish line $30, main stand $20, bleachers $10. Speed, strength, and heart-stopping finishes. It's all happening from 11 a.m. daily. Be there to witness future Grenadian stars. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical, Melville Street, St. George, and Spiceland Mall Grand Anse, and GoToFed.com.
One stage, full categories, 80 incredible dance talents. Experience the rhythms of the world as dancers bring culture to life with breathtaking performances. Who will take away the crown? Witness the passion, the energy, the artistry. Don't miss the ultimate global dance competition around the world in 80 dance talents. Call 407-8458 to register your group or solo act. Follow at GBN for updates.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's to the point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV. Welcome back to my guest once again. I have Senator Gloria Farmers with us this morning, and Albert Ron RedHead with us here on the program this morning. I want to go back to the conversation of the convention, which was held on Sunday last. And you did mention in the initial stage of the convention, you did still deem it as being success. Let's start off with, of course, Honorable Ron RedHead with this segment. You know the PRO of the National Democratic Congress. Tell us what some of the immediate plans, some of the things that you want to foresee as a party that you want to take in a different direction than it was going before as being the PRO.
Right. Well, certainly we need to build on the work previously done, as mentioned earlier on. As PRO, one of the things we must improve going forward is that constant communication with the membership and public by and large. I think it's a criticism historically, and it's something that we have looked at. Again, collaborating with the team, being able to effectively delegate to the respective roles and so on that you are in charge of is going to be critical. And so it's just about working there. I must say, though, that I have been with the party since 2013, and I have worked in the background at the level of PR, strategic, and management prior. And so it is nothing too difficult to continue. What we need to do is to ensure that we continue to enhance and accelerate that transformation that we would like the public to feel, and that's what the work is going to be a lot about.
All right. So you're saying now you will suddenly having a different approach to what's been there previously. Who was in charge of public relations previously? I bet I'm going to see you much more on my program.
Well, definitely. So everybody have a different style. So I would certainly make myself available. I think the time is going to be critical, and I am prepared to make myself available to speak before and on behalf of the National Democratic Congress.
Oh, great. Senator Thomas, let's of course go back to the convention. You being the first female chairperson for the National Democratic Congress as the party itself. Tell us, how do you feel about that? Being selected now as a chairperson, how do you feel about that?
Well, to be selected to lead this great organization, I think is really an honor, and I will really want to live up to the expectation. I want to be able to make my mark so that we can see improvement, we can see forward movement, and we can see progress. I believe as the leader, I will try to encourage a lot of inclusivity, collaboration, and bringing people together. I think I'm very good at bringing people together, and I think this is one of my strengths. And at this time in our existence as a party, this is the way we want to move. We recognize that persons from other parties and other dispensations want to be with us, and there is no way we will keep them off. We must open the door and have them come in to be part of what we're doing. People see the progress, people see the forward movement, people see the good that this party is doing, and I think they want to be part of it, and we are open. We have an open door policy. We're inviting people to join us in the the convention Sunday, not the convention but the rally. I noticed a lot of people from St. Andrews that I know probably will not have been in a rally, in an NDC rally years gone by. I saw them and I felt so good, and I reached out to them, thank them for coming, and ask them to bring more. Yes, so as the leader, I want to ensure that we have greater collaboration. The teamwork, strengthen the teamwork. We are really good as a team. Yeah. Really good as a team. But always have room for improvement in anything. And I will, as the party leader, ensure that this happens.
All right, great. So they're looking forward to hearing much more on you from that point of view. As continue to be the chairperson of the party, you mentioned also before that the inclusiveness that you would like to see within the party. For as an institution of the NDC, what do you think is needed more than there is now in terms of the overall growth of the National Democratic Congress as a party?
I think we need to be more on the ground, and not only doing projects and monitoring projects, but meeting with the people.
Yeah.
And not meeting with the people in a meeting setting, but on the block, on the street. You just do a walkthrough, house to house, find out from persons how they feel, what they think we could do better, what are some of the concerns, what are some of the suggestions they have to offer us. Because when we organize meetings, not everybody come out, and especially people who do not support the party, they won't come out.
Yeah.
So if we're talking inclusivity, we have to meet them, we have to reach out to them, and I think we could best do that on a one-on-one by walking the village and meeting with these people.
All right, great.
So it's different strategies. All right.
I mean, and of course, I guess that's really similar for you being the PRO now as of the National Democratic Congress. That's going to be similar challenges ahead for you.
Well, it's not so much a challenge, but it's something that we will all embrace as a team to constantly engage as we have done in the past, and to maintain it and to improve and increase it where we see.
The strength of the National Democratic Congress as a party, how do you folks feel about it?
Well, I would answer it in this way. The chairperson who is sitting right here, the General Secretary, and our esteemed political leader has made the call that we're going for all the electoral seats next election. And so the strength is something that we are confident that we will build up to continue that fight, so to speak, for justice, the fight against poverty, the fight against unemployment. That is our focus. And so in building the institution as a premier institution and political party in Grenada, we are confident that right now we stand very strong, but more so we are working towards where we intend to be. We haven't reached the pinnacle we plan to be as yet, and so we're working towards that.
All right. The various arms of the National Democratic Congress, we know we have the youth arm, women's arm, and so forth. How are these institutions, these arms within the party, how are they going along?
Right. Well, they're going pretty okay. We do have challenges in some regards, but there's always room for improvement, as Chair mentioned. So the General Secretary certainly had asked me to convey his total commitment, as already expressed at rally, for improving all of the organs and working feverishly with the team to be able to roll out new initiatives that can enhance and spark the whole question of the interest into the grassroots type of politics, because it's always easy to do what Minister and others and MPs and so on may be doing in terms of at the policy level, because you have the team beneath, but to be on the ground from that angle point and coming up, working and so on is always difficult, because you have less resources to get and in some instances, and then it's always more difficult to have influence at that level. So the General Secretary of the NDC, new one, certainly thank the outgoing General Secretary, Mr. Larry Barry, for his service, and is committed to ensuring that we are going to continue those areas that work and enhance those areas that may not be working at this present time.
So we will see you rejoining the cabinet for, of course, we're in the midway part of the year now.
Well, I couldn't predict the future, so I wouldn't want to speak to that. Yeah. But we remain committed. I think the most important thing is that the team is united and it's all love, no matter party or government. I think at whatever level we serve, we remain strengthened with the cabinet of Grenada from a party standpoint. So there is no issues there. There is no lack of communication from a party to government standpoint, and even cabinet. So there's no issue. One doesn't have to hold a position to do his or her work. Yeah.
All right, great. Great to hear that. We drew for a break once again. Let's take that break. When we come back, we open up the lines to our listeners and viewers this morning. Maybe there's a question or two you may like to ask the guests this morning. Yeah, feel free to do so in the next segment. Don't touch it down, folks. We will be right back.
A beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top. These sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong. Don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, corals, mangroves and fish they weep. Grey water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow, water flow. No clean water, no pipes to grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
Coming up, Carnival was in the air as Exodus played its part once again. Home away from home, Barbadian style. Antigua's black pineapple, locally grown and good for you too. Top-level sports featuring tomorrow's talents. It's all next on this station.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
Welcome back once again, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to the point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. As mentioned before the break, you have the option now for listeners and viewers to calling and ask a question or two to our guests this morning here on the program 435-2041. I beg of you to keep your contribution, of course, short, so we can accommodate as much as possible. Let's go to the phone line. We do have our first caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. May have lost that caller there. 435-2041. Don't forget you have double the options of calling in. You can call via the WhatsApp or via the direct line. Let's go back to the phone. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings.
Good morning to you, sir.
We'll be brief, sir. Just a bit of grammatical pedantry first, Mr. Telesford, before I go on quickly. The words that begin with a capital T, especially names, the H is silent. The TH digraph in English language has that peculiarity, okay? So the name of your guest is pronounced Thomas, not Thomas. Huh?
All right, sir.
For what it's worth. Now, second is just a brief comment. You see, this country is been going along. I don't really like how it's going because I have my way of seeing things. There should be a fine line between the administration of a country, in other words, the government, and their party. Evidently, we do not accept that thesis. So, your guests come on this morning and they're speaking both about their party and about government. However, if it is established that we go this way, I want to play this to Miss Thomas. Here we go.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that families will continue to receive the additional $150 per house. ...
These words were uttered at the end of 2022. A month after, in 2023, that sum of money had been, well, should I say, was pulled away. can Ms. Thomas, whose government, or should I say administration, boasts of being great fulfillers of promises, tell us when that money shall be replenished to those who suffered the loss? Thank you very much and do have a nice day. Will you, sir?
Thank you, caller. And respond to the caller.
No, let me answer. The monies that we removed. Well, let me begin by saying that there was all good intention to keep that money on because we made it as a promise. When we start to assess the situation, we realized that there was a lot of irregularities, with a lot of persons being on that list that should not have been there. So we had to move forward to ensure that we sanitize the list. So the situation we meet, we had to renege on what we plan to do to move forward. As you will know, that program was just for a year. It was just for 1 year. But we decided to move on with it. In examining the program, we realized that we had to sanitize and we had to recertify. And because of that, we had to go back on what we promised because the situation did not allow us to do it. And so we could not move forward past the year to continue with that payment.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. GT. Yeah, I'd like to respond to your panel there. I want to ask them how soon can they speed up the process of the universal health insurance, the health programs? Can we have it within the next few months, please? Is it possible to pass it in the Congress and then Cabinet, please?
Thank you, caller.
Thanks, caller. But in the interest of time and certainly in our capacities this morning, we are here as party and cannot effectively speak to all government's policies. And certainly as relates to health, the Minister of Health is going to, in budget, and the government by and large, respond to those various areas that you raised.
All right. 435-2041, 435-2041, that's the number if you want to get on the program this morning. Let's go to the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, Comrade Ron, family. What's going on? And also Sister Gloria. Not the first time I will get to talk to her. Anyway, I want to say the convention was very successful. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased. And to see the amount of turnout, to know that it is not an election year as yet. And look at the time. And the large crowd. And okay, something I want to ask the two comrades that that certain position that was given. Okay, we know that's a new position and things. You know, I have a suggestion. Do you think that some of the positions should be held as something permanent, where somebody will be getting a salary instead of we're going to have like government ministers and things, you know, doing certain work or keeping that position. But if we have some people that we could have permanent day, you know, because remember we're moving into an election and then we're going to need people who are permanent, and we don't want no interference within some of the things that you guys will be doing. You know, I mean, as ministers and MPs. And another thing I have to say, last week around, you was on, all right, and then I talk about we in the diaspora, and Mr. Scott make a whole program about it. Well, today I just want to say something. We in the diaspora will be determining the election in Grenada, and then we have a way we're going to be targeting, and I want him to know, we'll be targeting Emily Pierre, Kate Lewis. We're not going for Clarice Mothers because we know she's not going to be running, but we'll also be targeting Pete Mitchell constituency, and we start this Sunday. So I want them to know we in the diaspora will be determining the election in Grenada. Have a great day, my brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
All right, caller. Thanks, and thanks very much for the suggestion. We're always looking at ways to improve our effectiveness and efficiency, as mentioned by the chair, and so we embrace any suggestion at this time to do so.
Hello, good morning.
Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, GT, good morning.
Good morning to you. Caller, you're live. Go right ahead, please, with your contribution.
Right. St. George Northeast Disaster Management Committee invite the whole of New Hampshire and the surrounding areas to their wildfire prevention awareness. That will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. at the New Hampshire Community Center. We want all of New Hampshire to come out. It's very important. We recall what happened last year when we had the wildfires that started at Mount Kumar and went right across the Bolio. So we want, in collaboration with the RGPF, we have a forum on wildfire prevention and awareness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much, and for sharing that bit of information. Anything you want to highlight on that?
Yeah, well, just to say yes, and we look forward to collaborating further in 2025 with the district coordinating team of NADMA. Mr. Ralph James is doing an excellent job there, and we are committed to supporting and working with the NADMA team to ensure we mitigate and, plan through whatever disaster that may come our way.
Oh, great. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Nice. Thank you very much, President. Good morning to all and all. To the Honorable Lady, Ms. Thomas, and I'm very disappointed here still. My heart is very sour. Last October, when I attended the Caribbean Disabled Conference, and I must admit, but I don't want to be too much. Lady, listen, I am very, 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 very disappointed. I was disappointed with the 2013 Prime Minister, the Honorable whatever he was, because I saw him when I was in detention. Not him personally, but I saw someone as becoming a leader of our country while I was during the detention, undergoing torture and whatnot, etc. I thought it was going to be Winston White, but it didn't happen. It turned out to be another guy. But anyway, he didn't take my advice, and he joined in with the people and created a problem and destroyed the whole fabric of the NDC. Today, I'm wondering if the same thing is not happening, and if it's probably just another one term that you all will be really facing. Because I am here sitting down as a disabled person suffering. I cannot walk. I'm in a wheelchair. And I mean, the seed program probably because the Council for the Disabled and people are getting angry with me because I'm speaking out about these matters. I mean, I'm suffering here. I'm suffering. I'm on my bottom, struggling in my lungs, struggling to keep myself together. To medication I could hardly even buy. When I go to the government dispensary, they always send me to the pharmacy. When I go to the pharmacy, I don't have any money, and I have to thank one pharmacy, one man owner of the pharmacy for allowing me and giving me some medication. I probably owe him over $1,000 right now because every month I have to be buying this medication, and I can't see where the money is coming from. I need a help, lady. I need a help. I can't take this thing anymore. I need a help. I'm getting worried now and wondering whether I should probably. All right, okay, forget that. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. A little bit passionate caller there.
Right. And GT, I think sometimes calling on the radio is not going to be sufficient. I like to be very straight up to my constituents, and I extend this to all citizens. Sometimes you need to tell people what the situation is, and don't use, because I don't believe in sensationalism. I'm a very straight shooter when it comes to that. So if it's a problem, let's try and solve it.
All right, we do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to say congratulations to my MP, Honorable Ron RedHead, and to let you know that we are behind you. And also we want to say about the forum on Thursday, inviting everybody to that forum at the New Hampshire Community Center on bushfires. Thank you very much, Brother Ron, you and Sister Gloria. You have a great day now.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller, which we still have a few more minutes on the program. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to my minister. How are you doing this morning, my brother?
Yes, good.
My minister, I just want to share a little bit in that program this morning. There is a lot of people who don't know how to handle the computer to go online and declare that. I would like you, Chuck, to use a little pay system sometimes. and let the people go around the community, let them know what are you doing and what are you doing, so people will hear, because it's not everybody, as I say, could use online to get the message, because you are doing a very, very good job. And sometimes you talk to people and I don't hear that, because what all you do, all you hardly just come and the radio is one line. It's good, and Mr. Minister holding a responsible now. I remember in the campaign you promised that you will have people over 50 years. You'll take the opportunity to help them with the computer. There is a lot of schools in Tempe, and thank God my little brain could hold something still, so I'm waiting on that. Help us with to learn a little more on the computer. This is my little put this morning for you, my minister, Sister Gloria. Good morning, darling. Love all you. Continue the hard work.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, we do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're live.
Yes, good morning. I want to say they're trying earlier, but the way I see things going around now, it seems like this is a one term, because a lot of people have end up a lot of things. People in my community, I won't go say anything. They're in a bathroom, they're not toilet, they're in old house around my community. So what's the thing going now? I ain't think so.
Call, I'm trying to get a gist of what you were trying to. I'm not sure what the caller was trying to throw there, but yeah, brother, all laughing.
Well, the thing is, everybody would not be able to benefit, but certainly we do know of many instances throughout the country of people benefiting for the first time, getting bathroom and toilet, homes all over the country. And again, this is based on people's own perception, but what we want to continue to encourage Grenadians to believe in is that we have amended our constitution in terms of the tenure for executives from 1 to 2 terms, and that is what we will do as it relates to government as well.
All right. We will take our final call and then we get some closing contributions from both of the guests this morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to everyone. I welcome you with one voice and everyday voice. No, I was in the convention. It was a massive and well turned out, and the able bodies I saw there as the executive is the able body that could take this nation forward. So keep it up and keep up all your bad. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your contribution this morning. Of course, Senator Thomas, and of course, Honorable RedHead. Of course, any closing comments from both of you before we take a wrap this morning?
Okay. Well, let me again thank the delegates who voted for me to be elected as the chairman of this party. I want to say again that I give my full commitment to the task, and I look forward to collaboration and coordination and togetherness as we work as a team. I also want to say that this new executive will really sit and re-strategize, because we want to remain viable for the next few terms in office, and I know we will do it. So I'm calling on all party supporters to step forward, come out, make a commitment to your party, make a commitment to your constituency, be part of the programs that we will be instituting, and ensure that NDC remain on top. So thank you again for having me, and thank you to all again for believing in me, and have a very nice day.
Well, I would just say, as the incoming newly elected PRO, I endorse fully the statements by our chairperson, and we look forward to continued progression and accelerating that transformation in the National Democratic Congress.
I want to thank you both once again for coming on the program this morning, and of course, all around it, I know we'll be seeing you much more.
Yes.
I know that you are, of course, a PRO. You'll be much more on the program. Of course, Senator Thomas, of course, thanks for being with us here once again. I know it's your first time being with me on the program. Hope to have you back on more occasions again. Thank you both once again. All the best.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks, that's when we're going to take a wrap for this edition of To The Point. Join me again tomorrow for another edition. Have yourself a good one, folks. That's what we say goodbye.